Only 8 races remain in the 2024 Herr Sprint Series, and we are going to run 2 of those races in the next 3 days here in the Indianapolis area. Leading up to the Brickyard 400 this Saturday in the Wawa Cup Series, we begin the festivities of the week here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. It's the Indiana 200, 50 laps of action for these 24 drivers in Brownsburg, Indiana. It's going to be a fun one here to see who gets it done, leading up to tomorrow night's Wawa Winners Showdown. Let's see who gets it here for 50 laps in the Herr Sprint Series for Sprint Series Night in America on a Monday night. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. We are here for the 25th race of the season here in the Herr Sprint Series. This race was originally supposed to be run during Indy 250 week back in May. We simply did not have the time to run it then, so we moved it to Brickyard 400 week, and we are excited to see how this all ends up playing out. Points race here for these guys in the Herr Sprint Series, but the slight difference is obviously this being on a Monday night. All these guys were in our last race at Pocono Raceway, so they were not sign-ups for this race specifically. And only the top 3 drivers advance onto the Wawa Cup Series, and that race being the Wawa Open, which leads off the festivities tomorrow night for the Wawa Winners Showdown. But I don't think that's what these guys are focused on, especially the guy starting outside pole, Nathan Faden, who closed in on Juan Romero in the championship last time out at Pocono. He's only 15 points behind, and he has a good starting position ahead of that 87 coming into this race. And I'm generally excited Caleb Rose for the call of this one, and I don't think you've called a Sprint Series race yet this year, but obviously one of your Sprint Series drivers won all the way back at the Phoenix Raceway and will be in the Winter Showdown tomorrow night. So for these guys who do advance onto the Wawa Open, what chance do you give them at maybe racing their way in tomorrow night's race here at IRP?
Yeah, really excited to finally be in the booth for one of these races. It's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys race tonight, especially with a potential shot at the Wawa Winners Showdown, at least getting into the Open. But yeah, you know, we've started to see some of the hot seat rides have flashed the potential lately. So I think we could potentially see some of these guys have a chance at potentially making the Wawa Winners Showdown and potentially have a shot at maybe even winning the whole thing. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting race, especially with this not only just being a points race, but with also the 3 slots on the line to get into the Wawa Open. And with that points battle getting tighter and tighter, it's going to be really interesting to see how it all goes down. And it's going to be a fun one here for some classic short track action here at IRP.
It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. Of course, one of our favorite short tracks to go to. The Truck Series has come here for many years in a row, and we're going to be running our All-Star race tomorrow night for the Wawa Cup Series here, so excited to see how it all goes down. This race, no pit stops, 50 straight laps all the way to the finish. If we get a caution, the yellow will fly, so this race is very much normal compared to what we will see tomorrow. We're going to have stage breaks. We're going to have a massive tire fall off. There's going to be a lot of different things going on tomorrow night. But tonight, kind of a normal Sprint Series race, and that is good news for Dylan Matthews, who starts on the pole position for this one. She's 6th in the point standings, but like we mentioned, Juan Romero, your points leader, 370 points towards the championship, 15 points, though, ahead of Nathan Faden. And Romero had a much larger lead a few races ago. But Nathan Faden starting to close in and creep in on that championship lead. Brandon Nelson, 37 points behind. Corey Case has a great shot at jumping up there as well. He's only 39 points behind. He starts in the 3rd position here tonight. Could actually get his 3rd win of the season. And then Chris Reynolds, 40 points behind coming into this one. Definitely going to be an interesting race, no doubt about it. It's going to be difficult to work your way from the back to the front, and Juan Romero unfortunately starts, for his sake at least, pretty deep in the field, which plays him the Faden and Case, and even Brandon Nelson, who starts 6th. Those are the 3 drivers right behind Romero in the point standings who are looking to close in on Romero heading into our next race at Indianapolis on Wednesday. But we'll go ahead, give you guys the starting lineup. It's Dylan Matthews and Nathan Faden on the front row, Corey Case and Alexander Rowe. Great to see Alexander Rowe start up front. Remember the season that he had to start off here in the Sprint Series, and then he has completely fallen off since, all the way down 11th in points. You got Stuart Gratton, who I believe has not won a race as a driver on this channel since 2018, and that came from his mouth, not mine. So he should know that as the guy who's signing up here, and we'll have to see what he can do from the 5th starting position. A good opportunity for him there in that 64 there for Interests Motor Racing. Brandon Nelson alongside him right there. You got Skylar Taylor, Baltazar Stee, 80 machine of Joshua Brown to the inside of Chris Reynolds, the 90 of Aaron Abel, and the 57 machine of Josh Petty. You got the 50 of Matt Black, the 69 of Duncan Ward, Matt Grice to the inside of Christian Master. There's Juan Romero starting deep in the field, all the way back in the 17th starting position alongside the 13 machine of Leonard Kochmer. You got the 02 of Joey Brown, the 53 of Eric Monaco, Santiago Labarito, who was the winner at Pocono last week. He starts all the way back in the 21st starting position. He did not have a fast lap, even though he got the race victory last week, alongside Anthony McClure right there, and then the 25 machine of Eli Bright, Carson Miller in the 96. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here in the Indiana 200. And Caleb, we got a strong field, especially starting up front. A lot of guys in championship contention starting up front, and a lot of guys who have won many races before. Who do you think's going to get it done here in this Indiana 200 IRP?
I think I kind of like where that number 99 of Corey Case is sitting. Coming into this race 4th in the standings. Got himself up to 4th in points after the last race out. And I think he could potentially have a chance at maybe projecting himself up into that championship battle. But yeah, I'm also going to be looking out for that one of Nathan Faden. Closing in on that championship leader of Juan Romero. Have to see what he can do tonight. I know he's going to be going 110% to try and get that win here tonight.
And of course, here you may not necessarily want to go 110% because that outside wall can come at you pretty fast. These guys run a higher line here than the typical short track, and because of that, the racing can get very interesting. The jump's also important as well. Here we go. Dylan Matthews, Nathan Faden at the line. We're green flag racing in the Indiana 200. Oh boy, and what was I just saying right there? Dylan Matthews getting spun around. She got into the outside wall, and the caution flies on lap number 2. Just sent it in the turn number 3 a little too hard. Corey Case is your race leader. And Nathan Faden will be second with Stuart Gretton. It's going to be a battle here between these two drivers. You also got the 90 of Aaron Abel, Alexander Rowe battling. Corey Case wins the race back to the line. And no, Reggie Fogelman's loving this one. His two drivers, 1-2, and Trackhouse Racing leading in the owner's title right now here in the Sprint Series as well. They've had a pretty solid year, especially with their full-timer Nathan Faden. But man, that's such a shame for Dylan Matthews. She won't be out of the race. But she does have a little bit of damage from that and will be sent to the back of the field after that mistake right there. Baltazar Steep may have gotten into her. That 88 machine has a lot of heavy front-end damage, and it looks like he might be out of the race. But my goodness, what a way to start off here tonight at the Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Definitely, Matthews just sending in way too hard into turns 3 and 4, trying to stay ahead of Case. Got into the outside wall, and I guess more unfortunately, made contact with her teammate, the 93 of Alexander Rowe. And unfortunately, that sent the 39 a rent. And no, Juan Romero was probably about right in the middle of that. Luckily, he was able to avoid that. It looks like he doesn't have any damage. So good stuff there from the 87, and now he's up into the top 10.
Good run for him there through all that, so that may play in his favor a little bit. But then again, the 3 guys he's battling with in the championship, well, 2 of the guys are up there with him. Brandon Nelson was actually caught up a little bit in that in the 92 machine, and he's actually now behind the 87. But 2 of those guys he's battling with in that championship, Corey Case and Nathan Faden, are 1-2 right now. Let's go ahead and see what happens to Dylan Matthews to bring up the first caution of the night here in the Indiana 200 at IRP. And Dylan Matthews, what a shame for her here. She was trying to get the run in the outside lane ahead of Corey Case right there. And just gassed it into the corner a little too much. And that 39, once you get into the outside wall here at IRP, it is very hard to get out of it. And Corey Case takes the race lead in that exchange. You got Stuart Graham and Nathan Faden who are able to get by, but it's Alexander Rowe in the 93, her teammate, of Alexander Rowe there at Evans Ross Racing. Coming up right there on the 39 and not giving her enough room to get off the wall, and around goes Matthews. Brandon Nelson has nowhere to go. Balthazar Steep in the 88, you're going to see him right here. Slam right into this 39 machine. Matt Black, Matt Grice get away from it. Juan Romero as well. That's pretty big in terms of the championship right there. And then Joey Brown, all those guys in the inside lane, the outside lane guys getting held up. Brandon Nelson, and then, of course, Balthazar Steep taking a hard hit there in the 88 machine. Tough break there for Dylan Matthews and Balthazar Steep. But it's just the way it goes sometimes here. You can't be too aggressive at a place like this.
You're going to see right here, Dylan Matthews trying to play defense on the 99 of Corey Case. Just goes a little bit too wide in 3 and 4. Gets into the outside wall. And fortunately, her teammate Alexander Rowe is going to get into her off-corner exit, and that's going to spin the 39 around. And it's just on from there. Nowhere for anybody to go. That happened right in front of Brandon Nelson. He gets a piece of that. And Balthazar Steep, a lot of damage to that 88 car. Just couldn't get it slowed down in time. So a really tough break there for everybody involved. But just the way how things go sometimes here at IRP. But Corey Case actually got the jump on everybody and led the field back to the line. We'll have to see what he can do. Have to see if he can hang on.
Going to be interesting to see what Corey Case can do. Of course, the restart is pivotal to how the rest of the race goes. He's got his teammate Nathan Faden right behind him. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the Indiana 200 at IRP. We're back here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Running a bit of a shorter caution right there, so we'll restart on lap 6 of 50. Try to get as much racing as we can in for these Sprint Series races, since there are no pit stops in the majority of them. Pace car's going to pull down right here with Corey Case, Nathan Faden, Stuart Gratton. How about Joshua Brown there in 4th, and Skylar Taylor, the top 5. Everybody's still in the race, including Balthazar Steve, who had that damage from the incident. Dylan Matthews, she is back in the 11th position after getting spun around, so that could have been worse for Juan Romero there in 10th. Restart's very important here at IRP. It's where you get the jump on the race leaders, and a good jump on Corey Case's part, and Stuart Gratton looking to take second away from Nathan Faden right here.
Good restart there from the 99 of Corey Case. And Alexander Rowe into the fence, as well as potentially the 90 of Aaron Abel. Either that, or he might have just been on the outside and got held up by the 93, but yeah, that's what you want to do here, and a good jump from the 99 of Case. So he'll be able to hold on to the race lead for now. See if Nathan Faden potentially is able to gain on him. Stuart Gratton in the 64 has made his way up to 3rd, and he is all over the back bumper of Nathan Faden right now, and here he goes.
Faden's a little wide, and Stuart Gratton looking to the inside for 2nd. Of course, you got Stuart Gratton, you got Christian Master in this field as well. There are no 2 drivers in this field who are more experienced than those 2. They ran in the first ever season of the channel all the way back in 2015. But like I mentioned, it's been a long time for Stuart Gratton as a driver winner on the channel, and I know he wants to get one here. That's why he's running these Sprint Series races, to get another race victory. And he is in a good position right now. The good thing, though, for Corey Case is that he's got almost a second on Stuart Gratton right here, and that 99 machine looks really quick. Had a great jump at the start of the race, showed a lot of speed there. And he's starting to pull away just a little bit. Now, we'll see the tire wear come into effect here. We have a very similar tire brought here to what we ran at North Wilkesboro in the Wawa Cup Series tomorrow. And that tire fall-off is going to be similar for these guys. However, they will not fall off as fast as they will in the races that we will see tomorrow. Of course, the Wawa Open, the qualifying session, and the Winter Showdown all going to be in one video starting at 8 p.m. tomorrow night right here on AG the channel. We're excited for that one. I know you're excited for that one because you got 3 of your cars already in the showdown, both of your full-time drivers of Nicholas Samadio and Logan Williams. I forgot your other full-time driver. What's wrong with me? And then Alexander Rowe's going to be in that race already. He's already in the Winter Showdown for winning that Phoenix race earlier this season, so I know you're excited about that. Also excited to see your 2 drivers doing pretty well on this race. You got Matt Black there. Or should I say, yeah, Matt Black in the 50 machine, and then the 90 machine of Aaron Abel. Both running in the top 7 right now.
Yeah, good run so far for the 50 and the 90 teams. Running well here so far, both inside the top 10. And yeah, really excited for the Winners Showdown. You know, even though I've got 3 cars in it, I think it's just going to be a lot of fun to see who's going to get the victory in that. And honestly, who we might even see just in that race. But yeah, we're in for a fun weekend of racing action here on the channel. But on the racetrack right now, Corey Case has really started pulling away from Stuart Grattan now, almost a 1.5 second lead to the 64. And then you've also got the 80 of Joshua Brown. He's up to 4th, and the 55 Skylar Taylor right now, I believe. Yeah, in
that's
4th.
That last position to transfer on right there too, because Grattan is ineligible as an owner to advance. And I gotta be honest, I did think about it. I really did think about it. If, say, Stuart Grattan, well, actually, Stuart's really one of the only ones who's an owner running in this race, I think. I don't think we really have many other drivers, because Vinny Scholes is not running here tonight. Who else do we got? Yeah, I don't think we got anybody else. So it's just Stuart. And I mean, I gotta tell you, I thought about it, but figured I'd keep it consistent in terms of the Winners Showdown and the hot seat. That would be unfair to Skylar Taylor in that regard, who is in fact eligible for said hot seat, and obviously going in, the Wawa Cup Series owners who do drive in the series are aware of the fact that they cannot race as a driver in the Wawa Cup Series. So I thought about it, but as cool as it would be to see Stuart Grattan run that 11 in the Wawa Open, it'll end up being Corey Case, the way things are going right now, because Corey Case is winning this race. Only the 11, the 00, and the 31, the open rides. Obviously, the 50 already taken with Alexander Rowe. That's a good thing for Alexander Rowe. He really doesn't have to worry about that aspect of it. And honestly, at this point, in terms of the championship, he's just going to be happy to get another top 10. He started off the season with like 10 straight top 10s this season and has gotten 2 since those first 10 races. So we'll have to see what he can do as this race moves along. How about Joshua Brown trying to close in on Stuart Grattan for the second position? Skylar Taylor a little wide right there in the 55 machine. And we'll have to see if Joshua Brown can get around Grattan here and maybe try to close in on Corey Case for the race lead.
We'll have to see. We could potentially start seeing some comers and goers here as the tires start to wear out a little bit, because Nathan Faden, who was running up front throughout the first part of the race, is really starting to slip back. He's now into the clutches of the 90 and the 50, both of the Appalachia cars. Abel right on his back bumper, looking for a way around.
Abel got around Matt Black right there, so Aaron Abel trying to move up position. I mentioned this on Wednesday in the Pocono race. You got to give a lot of shout-outs to Aaron Abel for what he's been able to accomplish in terms of the signups alone. He is the only driver not in a full-time ride who has been in every single Sprint Series race this season. The downside to that is, well, he actually jumped Anthony McClure in the points at Pocono. He was going into that race below Anthony McClure in terms of the point standings, but he has not had the best of runs this season. Only 2 top 5s in those 24 races and 6 top 10s. But he is currently on the door, on the brink of making it into the top 10. You know, I completely forgot about Aaron Abel. He's another one of our owners here. So if Abel were to advance on, he would be ineligible as well. How did I forget Aaron Abel? Racing Motorsports. That team very good this season with Blaine Keys. My apologies to Mr. Abel right there. I completely forgot about that. Well, Corey Case now has 2.1 seconds on Stuart Grattan. He continues to pull away in this one. Got wins at the opening. Well, not at the opening race. Daytona was actually the 3rd race of the season. Early on in the season, he got the win at Daytona. Won the Dash for Cash and got that at Hillside to win. Actually, no, he ended up winning. Man, I can't remember anything. Eric Monaco won Oregon, and then Corey Case went on to win Hillside the next week to win the Dash for Cash. That's how it went down. He's trying to get his 3rd win of the season. He's only been in 21 races up to this point. This is his 22nd race of the season, so he missed 3 races. But he has the best average finishing position of any of these drivers in championship contention. And looking to better that even more here today as we're about halfway here in this Indiana 200.
Yeah, Case has really had a strong season up to this point, and honestly, judging by that average finishing position, I think if he made every single race, he would definitely be the points leader right now. But a win here today would definitely benefit the cause and maybe even project himself into probable championship contention. We'll just have to wait and see. But got a lot of Oh, it's a bit calm up front. Got a lot of battling going on back here as we got Alexander Rowe and Joey Brown going at it with Juan Romero right behind them. Romero looking to try and limit the damage as much as possible with Nathan Faden running up in the top 5. We'll have to see. Looks like Faden might be trying to close again on these cars up here. Grattan, Brown, and Taylor. We'll have to see if he can. Joshua Brown not been able to get by the 64. And now could potentially fall into the clutches of Skylar Taylor here.
Yeah, at this point in the race, it's very hard for these guys to pass, and this is something we won't necessarily see tomorrow because we're going to have a much faster fall off on these tires, and we will have breaks in the races. It will be a halfway break in the Wawa Open, and then there will be stage breaks at lap 30 and lap 60 for the Winners Showdown for these drivers to come down the pit lane. So definitely going to be interesting to see, especially with how much fall off these tires are going to have. We're essentially bringing the same tire that we brought to North Wilkesboro, if we want to be realistic, and we all know how that race played out in the Wawa Cup. Just got a battle here between your drivers. Aaron Abel and Matt Black keep going after it. Matt Black got back around Aaron Abel, and Aaron Abel trying to get back around Matt Black right here. Matt Black, you know, how about this driver here? 5 starts, 4 top 5s. He's got more top 5s than Aaron Abel does in 19 fewer starts. So Matt Black has definitely come onto the scene very well. He's been in the 50 Cup ride a few times already this season in the Wawa Cup Series. And once again, another solid run for him, but not quite enough to advance on to run in the Wawa Open tomorrow night. Corey Case almost has 4 seconds now in the field. This 99 is clearly one of the fastest cars out here on the racetrack. They're stuck behind Stuart Grattan right here, and Joshua Brown is not really trying to get around him. Skylar's going to try to make a move there on Joshua Brown for position. Oh my goodness, they almost got into him. That was close. You could tell she's getting a little impatient right there, just getting stuck behind these 2 drivers, and she almost sent that 80 machine around. Thought better of it, those 2 good friends, so obviously that's not going to be the case. Joshua Brown's not going to get a run on Grattan right here for the 2nd position. And Nathan Faden is close, and all these guys just in a line, closing right in, including Juan Romero, who's only 5 positions behind Faden. But that would mean a 10-point lead for Romero going into Indianapolis on Wednesday. So with 7 races left to go after tonight, 10 points is nothing. And Corey Case is also going to gain on Romero at this rate as well, albeit he won't be within a race win worth of points, I don't think. And he might be. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Joshua Brown has a shot to the inside of Stuart Grattan, and will the floodgates open around this 64?
We'll have to see. Grattan trying to hold his own on the outside. Taylor is into the quarter panel of Brown and into the outside wall, chastaining it through 3 and 4. And
that's going to cost her a spot in the Open tomorrow.
And that's going to give a spot to the one of Nathan Faden, and now he's in position to make the Wawa Open. And now, Joshua Brown, he's gotten by the 64 of Grattan. We'll have to see what he can do now that he's in clean air. And Nathan Faden, now to the back bumper of Grattan, looking to do the same.
Thing is, Corey Case is about 5 seconds ahead of the race lead, so it's essentially going to take a caution at this point for anyone to get to that 99 machine. But Joshua Brown made it interesting right there. It's a shame this is not for the race lead. But you know what? That's all right. We're going to have some great races tomorrow as well. And Corey Case absolutely deserves this run. Got the jump there at the start of the race, and he has led every lap in this Indiana 200 as well. And we've got another pass here. That's Aaron Abel. And Aaron Abel trying to take the spot away from Faden. So that's 2 guys right there, which means that the 5th starting position, or 5th finishing position, would be the last transfer spot. If Abel were to get around Faden, Faden going to try to hold that outside, and he will actually stay ahead of the 90 machine as Taylor continues to fall back on that outside. And Matt Black here, Joey Brown, Alexander Rowe, Juan Romero, and then a bit of a gap down there to Matt Grice in the 4 machine. 96 there of Carson Miller. He started last in this race, up to 12th. Duncan Ward, Brandon Nelson, Leonard Kochmer, Christian Masters, Santiago Labarito, Eric Monaco, Dylan Matthews down to 19th after starting on the pole. Anthony McClure, Josh Petty, 25, machine of Eli Bright, Baltazar Steep, and then Chris Reynolds. And they're exiting turn number 1 right, or turn number 2 right now. And Corey Case is entering it. I mean, look at the gap here. Look at that gap. That's a good way of really measuring how far ahead that number 99 is. He's kind of all by himself, and everyone else is in a line behind him. But he's got about 10 laps to go across the line this time. This race is not over yet. We've seen many things occur. Of course, we saw mechanical issues come into effect quite a bit at Pocono, and we still may end up with a caution the way these guys are racing here.
Yeah, without these guys are racing, I wouldn't sideline that possible outcome just yet. That was 3 wide there through turn 4. Luckily, they're going to sort that out. But Juan Romero in the 87, he's going to get by the 93 of Alexander Rowe and move himself up into the 9th position, I believe. And as the Appalachian Motorsports teammates go at it, could potentially find an opportunity in that, and he is to the inside of the 50 of Matt Black. He's making up positions here, but Nathan Faden has also been making up positions, now up into the 4th position. But Romero trying to make a late charge to the field to potentially limit the championship gain as much as he can.
And now I think it sits that it would be 11 points between those two drivers going into Indianapolis. But it's still a loss for Romero, and he really can't afford that at this point in the season if he wants this Herr Sprint Series championship. Nathan Faden's going to really be going for it. And of course, both of these drivers full-time. Corey Case is not a full-time driver, but if he continues to sign up, like I said before, I think he's got a really good chance at it, especially if he can seal the deal here tonight and get this race win in the Indiana 200. What a dominating performance it has been for him. They just couldn't get around Stuart Graham. These guys did not have the speed to keep up with that 99 machine. This is a massive lead. As a matter of fact, I believe this would be the largest margin of race victory this season in the Herr Sprint Series if Corey Case continues to hold it, and he continues to pull away right here. 5.7 seconds on Joshua Brown right now, coming to 5 laps to go here at IRP.
What an absolute masterclass of a performance here tonight from Corey Case. Got the lead on the opening lap and has not looked back since. Got a good jump on the restart, and he has just absolutely gapped the rest of the field. Oh, Matt Grice in the outside wall, battling with the number 96 of Carson Miller. He's going to lose a couple spots there in that 4 machine, as Duncan Ward now is also going to get to the inside. But yeah, it's just been lights out from Corey Case, and it's looking pretty good at the moment that he's going to get his, I believe, 3rd win. Yes, 3rd win of the season. Ooh, Faden
here we go.
On the outside.
For that last transfer spot into the Wawa Open right here. Skylar Taylor wants it on that 1 machine in Nathan Faden. But Joey Brown's here as well, and Aaron Abel, of course, an owner, so he's ineligible, but this is going to be the battle right here. Skylar Taylor going to go for it once again. With 3 laps to go here in the Indiana 200. Taylor trying to get around Faden. Not enough momentum to make that move work. Meanwhile, Corey Case is lights out 6 seconds now. He continues to extend that gap on Joshua Brown. And only unless he blows up, and we know how that can be on the channel sometimes, I think it's pretty safe to say that Corey Case is going... How about this? Joey Brown to the inside, and Joey Brown has taken that spot away from both of those drivers. Oh my!
How about that?
That's all you got to do is just step away from it, and how about that right there? Joey Brown taking that transfer spot into the Wawa Open away. It's the white flag for Corey Case. 6 seconds ahead of Joshua Brown. And it's going to be his 3rd win of the season here in the Herr Sprint Series. He is going to tie Juan Romero in terms of wins this season with this one. Corey Case wins the Indiana 200. It's going to be Joshua Brown and then Joey Brown in the Wawa Open for the other 2 slots available. Nathan Faden is only going to gain 3 points. It's still a gain, but only gains 3 points on Juan Romero in a race where he could have actually taken the points lead the way they started. Interesting race here at IRP, and of course we're going to have an interesting one tomorrow night as well. But how about Corey Case getting the job done here in the Indiana 200?
An absolutely dominating performance here. He's got the fastest lap by almost a whole tenth, and I'm pretty sure he led every single lap here tonight. Didn't quite start on pole, but still, regardless, an absolutely dominating performance by Case. And hey, that was my pick pre-race.
You got it. You didn't
jinx anybody this time.
Let's take a look at the rest of the fastest laps right there for your reference. Of course, signups for Indianapolis have already happened. They happened last Wednesday. But based on who signed up and who did not, this is how they will line up for the Indy 200. Of course, 20 laps there at the Brickyard, so one of the longer races of the season for these guys, but definitely one of the biggest races. It's a huge deal to win at Indianapolis, an opportunity for these drivers to do that. How about Corey Case? How about that margin of race victory over 6 seconds on Joshua Brown? I don't think we're going to quite see that tomorrow night in the Wawa Open or the Winners Showdown. But hey, you know what? Corey Case is going to have a shot at making it in. It's going to be tough to win from deep in the field in the Wawa Open, that's for sure. But there's going to be an opportunity. And only the winner of the Wawa Open advances on. There's no fan vote. There's no second place. Just the winner of the Wawa Open makes it in the Winners Showdown. And they end up starting in the back of the field for that race as well. They don't get to qualify with everybody else. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that ends up shaking out. But Corey Case, Joshua Brown, Stuart Gratton, Joey Brown, the top 4. Corey Case will be in the 11 for the Wawa Open. Joshua Brown will be in the 00 tomorrow night. And then Joey Brown will be in the 31 for Titan Fury Racing. And Faden's going to close in a little bit on Juan Romero. Corey Case will also close in on Juan Romero as well. Brandon Nelson slipped back to 13th. He's going to lose some ground. Chris Reynolds did not have a good race. Dylan Matthews, obviously, we saw what happened to her. So it's looking like it might be between Romero, Faden, and Case now in this championship battle. But still 7 races left to go. How do you think it's going to play out in these last 7 races of the Herr Sprint Series?
Gonna be an exciting one, I'll tell you that. It'll be interesting to see how this fight for the championship between Faden and Romero develops. And like you mentioned, if he keeps signing up, I could see Corey Case potentially going for a last-second run at the title. We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down. But really exciting one here from IRP, and definitely setting the scene for the rest of this awesome week of racing. And it'll be interesting to see how everything goes down here at this track in the Wawa Winners Showdown and the Open. Gonna be a lot of fun.
And a $40 grand prize to the race winner, $15 for the owner, and you've got 3 chances at that one, Caleb, so I know you're excited about that. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the Wawa Open. Right after that, it is single car qualifying for the Wawa Winners Showdown, and then the race itself immediately following that. All going to be in the same video like we kind of used to do it back in the day. So get ready at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. You can watch the MLB All-Star Game or the Wawa Cup Series All-Star Game. Which would you rather watch? That's up to you. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Corey Case on his race victory here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Wawa Winners Showdown. I will see you guys later.